Oh, CEO America, how is everything going? I hope all is well. I hope you're having a good morning. Uh, Depending on what part of the world you're in, it might be a good afternoon, might be a good evening, but whichever, I hope you had a good one. All right, and yeah, here I am. All right, got a lot of things I want to talk about, but I'm trying to do things within a limited time space here. So if I don't get to show and talk about everything that I want to show you and talk about, well, there's always the next day, next time. So anyway, uh, yeah, see, I have several channels, but this channel and the Warhorse Experience and also Warhorse podcast. I haven't been doing a whole lot with the podcast of late. I'm still trying to get me a looking for a good mic and stuff. But thing is, right now, money's been really tight. Not gonna have any money free to do a whole lot with to get the things that I really need until the cabin next door is paid off, which should be paid off next month, which would be either June, July, or August. But I figure it's more like towards June or July it'll be completely paid off, and then I can be able to have a little bit more to, yeah. So, anyways, I'm hoping that you are having a good day, and I just wanted to do a little reflecting on yesterday, meaning yesteryears of the past, and also looking into our present day, and maybe even what our future holds. You can recall the days of our childhoods growing up, and the tales that our grandfathers and our fathers and grandmothers and such have told us about way life was, you know. And you get to thinking about it, and you really miss that, because back in those days, people had more freedom, more freedom, and you didn't. Yeah, people were bad back then, just like they are today, but not as bad as what they are today. Uh, you had more good, really, back then, if you think about it. If you compare what it was like back then and then to what you got now, as far as when you're talking about freedom, morality, and things like this, you find that there was a big difference like between light and day. Did I say light and day? Now, dang nabbit, now I need to get my head twisted. Been hearing too much of them woke people. No, actually, it's called old age. But anyway, I mean, between differences between night and day. Blooper! Yeah, okay. But differences between night and day. I mean, you could light and day. I can't believe I said that. Okay, but yeah. Okay, but anyway, uh, thing is, people, their idea of decency and all this, and their ideas of freedoms, um, if you compare between now and what it was like then, you're gonna find a big difference because people now they think less is more. All right, in other words, and they push that less is more, but their idea of pushing less is more is about less freedom, right? And they're giving want people just want to give everything up to the government. Like say, oh, we're gonna let you take care of us. We trust you. Yeah, that would be like the mouse saying to the cat, I trust you. Uh-huh. Yeah. See, the government, the way things are now, and the way it was then, yeah, politicians are politicians, no matter how you dress them up, really. But if you really compare things from yesterday and today, I mean, you see a big difference, or should I say, bigger difference. They were crooked back in, but man, but they were more clandestine. I mean, now they're not afraid of anything. They're more bold. And I've never seen people so wild and crazy about being dominated. You talk about your B and D and S&M and all this kind of crap. You think these people were all into that just total, because here they want nothing but total outright communism. Oh yeah. Um, Now, if I have time, if I don't, I will next time when I'm up. I will share this with you. It's on the Communist Manifesto. Now, by the way, I will try. If I forget, I'll be sure to try to remember later on to put in the description. I forgot to do that, and so I will have to do it later, if I can remember, to put a link so you can if you're having trouble for finding the Communist Manifesto, the book, well, I'm going to let you be able to hear the audio book and listen to it as you will in the timelines, little by little, but listen to it carefully. All right. And you're going to be shocked. All right. Really, about the whole thing. And people treat that like this is the Bible for all of us socialists and communists and all of this. This is our golden book, our Bible. Yeah. And the thing is, it was if Marx was alive today, Karl Marx, he would be part of this woke movement. Nuts. He was a nut anyway. And he wrote it and everything. He says, he'll take things that will, and he had help also on this, but on the manifesto, right? But the way him and that other guy, I can't remember his name, but anyway, the way they wrote it's a jumble of stuff mixed in, mishmash. And see, some of it makes sense to a point, and that's the thing about that. That's how they suckered people into it. But I could say a lot really on it, but I think it's better that you hear it yourself. And you got people on YouTube who want to push it. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Trying to they make it try to look. It's about people being oppressed and wanting freedom. There was no. The whole thing is if a person listens to it thoroughly, it's a contradiction in itself. And they talk about against socialism, but yet for socialism, but against socialism. And that, and you got idiots on here and can't see the difference between, on socialism and communism, that, should I say, that they don't understand it's part of the same shoe. All right. Think of socialism kind of the insert, the little cushion part of the shoe. Yeah. But people, swallow that crap, man. And they don't understand this is a thing about getting rid of outright freedom, because we don't know what we want. We really desired to have someone over us and telling us what to do, how to do it. In other words, think of it like this. Now, renting versus buying and owning your own home. Okay. Now, see, some people will argue with renting is better because you don't have to own, don't have to worry about the headaches and stuff. But look what you got to deal with: rules. Rules that tells you if you can have pets on there, how many people in there, whether you can drink or not drink, smoke or not smoke, or this and this and that, and blah blah blah, on and on and on, da 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 da, and it's a headache. And then if you're late or something, or if that owner that you're renting from decides they're going to sell, you're out. You're out, man. I don't care what kind of contract you got. You know. Now, an owner, someone who owns a home, like say you go and you buy and you own, you buy it. You got your own home. You can do with it as you will. Whether you want to smoke or drink in it, or whether you want to have as many people over or less people over or whatever. It's up to you. I mean, you make the decisions on whether well, maybe you're getting tired of the house paint, the color, so you want to repaint it, or maybe you want to add on to it, or something, what have you. But you just, if you want pets, you can have pets. If you don't have to. But nowadays, it's screwy. It's screwy. It's screwy. All right, now when we talk about freedoms and stuff, people, yes, we have the freedom of speech, the thought, uh, we have rights. However, people will abuse it, go overboard on it. They think maybe that gives you also the right to murder, and to enforce your views on others, to enforce it. Yeah, you don't, that, all right, like, see, I have a view and someone else does, right? And I may disagree with their view, but they want to enforce their view on me, and if I don't comply and don't, well, then there is hell to pay, right? Well, that's the way it is with these people today. They're crazy. These leftists, or we refer to leftists as socialists and communists, these Marxists, for better lack of words or whatever you want to say for it, might as well say Marxists. They want to enforce, all right, what they're saying is a woman's right to murder because it's their own body. I got news for them. If they don't want to have children, they know what to do about it. Keep your pants on, ladies. If you don't want children, keep your pants on. And get sterilized. And I'd say for the guys who's in a relationship or whatever, and married, whatever, and they don't want to end up having children and stuff, instead of forcing the woman to uh, put her in a place where she's got to abort the baby when she gets pregnant because you don't want the child. I'll say to you guys, you better go get yourself fixed. You dang fools. I ain't never seen such fools in my life. And then and they end up getting pregnant, they want to kill it instead of, carrying it to term and give it to a family who can no longer have children. Someone who would love that child. Oh, no, 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 no. But see, they want to enforce everything on everyone. They would love for it to be like China and these other communist countries where they can tell you how many a woman, how a family, how many children that they can have. A limit, like maybe one or two, and no more. Or whether they can only have a boy, or whether they can only have a girl, and so forth and so forth and so forth. But the thing is, they want to enforce it. Yeah, they want to enforce it. It's like you either do or you die, and you shut up. You don't have the right. We got the right because it's our body, and we can force all others to comply to us. They abuse freedom. They don't understand the full use of freedom, okay? But my whole point here, what I'm trying to really get at is things have changed so much from what it was a long time ago. And look at what we got now, huh? I mean, it's gotten really bad, really bad. And it's like, where do I even begin? I mean, there's so much to say on this. But, I mean, let's face it, the days that I knew and you knew, a lot of you knew back when we were young, and that our fathers and mothers and our grandfathers and grandmothers, etc., the days that we knew and they knew in this country, it's gone. We'll never get that back, as much as we would love for it to be. And the thing is, it's scary. All right, now I'm going to show you some videos and let you listen to them and hear what's going on. And then think of it as a way to compare from what you remember of yesteryear, compared to now, of the madness going on. Now, this first one I do want to show you, and I applaud this young man. All right, and I'll give you a little tidbit here on it. Now, it's like a school board meeting and stuff, and this young man, it has to do with about more or less a vote on a Satan's club. Oh yeah, you heard right. Now, I don't think a lot of these people understand when the first settlers, first people that came over from Europe to this country, what their original intentions and thoughts were of the reason why they left their country and why they're here, right? In this country from way back, all right? But Anyway, you gotta hear it. I applaud this young man. When and on all of these, let me know your thoughts and comments on them, okay? And I might not get to show all of these now, but I will later on a next live, all right? But I want you to hear this first one, all right? And
I had to say something because I do not want to kneel to Nebuchadnezzar. I want it to be known that I stood when everyone else kneeled. And we're reasonable. We're putting the self, worship yourself. This is where it starts. This is why America is in the state that it's in. Because we are worshiping ourselves and not our God. And we're going to promote this to children, the most impressionable, the youngest, they're innocent. We're going to tell them to worship themselves. Well, how's that working out for everyone? We don't know what, excuse me, almost. What gender, we don't know biology. We've forgotten basic biology. Woe to any nation that rejects the truth. This is where it starts. It sounds good. This is literally how Satan works.
Absolutely.
Listen, it's good to promote yourself. No. It starts here, and I don't want to know where it goes. I didn't do any research about these people because I don't have to. When I hear Satan, I don't think, oh, let me freaking research that and see if that's good or bad. No, I know intrinsically it's bad because God inscribes His morality upon all of our hearts. And I hear, and I'm like, this is bad. We cannot allow this. I don't care about the freaking. I don't care about the freaking laws. Okay? Oh, it's allowed. You're going to sue us. Oh, no. I don't care. It's immoral. It's bad. It's wrong. Oh, it's legal. They're going to win anyway. It doesn't matter. We have to stand up. If we don't stand up, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Not in my freaking town. I don't have any kids, but nothing would make me happier than to raise children. But I'm not about to let it slip through my fingers that I could have stopped this from happening to other people's children and not do something about it. I am so...
now let me just say, you want to watch this to the end. You got to hear the result of this vote, all right?
Angry. I've been so stressed, and thank God I only found out about it yesterday. I would have been going crazy for a freaking week. Look, Are you going to protect the children or not? I don't care about the laws. I don't care about the freaking laws. Are you going to protect those children or not? I hope you are. I don't know any of you. I've never been to a meeting before. But I should hope you want to protect the children. That is why you're here. You are here to work for the people that put you in those seats and for their children. And their children do not need this. This is the last thing they need.
Excellent, young man.
Thank you so much. I don't know.
Great job, bud.
Mr. President, I move to approve the request of Samantha Groom to establish an after-school Satan Club at the Northern Elementary School on a probationary basis. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I'd like to call a roll call vote to approve letter J.
Will do. That was our plan. Any other discussion? All right, Mrs. Ross?
Mr. Becker?
No.
Mrs. Eichelberger?
No.
Mr. Halaki?
No.
Mrs. Hoveter?
No.
Mr. Kyle?
No.
Dr. McLean?
No.
Mr. Rudy?
No.
Mr. Sechrist?
No.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Okay, that is 1 in favor and 8 against. The motion fails.
think about that? But I mean, at an elementary school, they wanted to have a Satan club, all right? And that one dude that voted yes was kind of wondering if he the one who wanted to push it and make the end. Elementary school. You got the same nice people out there who want to sit up around the Capitol building and stuff to a classroom. Get rid of the Ten Commandments that they kept around the Capitol, and stuff. They, they want to put up the classroom. Uh, I just think these people realize that when this country was founded by the Europeans who came, who was fleeing oppression and what have you, right? There was a certain oath. If you really look it up, you will find it. I ain't got time to go into that, but if you look it up, those people made an oath to the Creator. They made an oath to Him. And you have to read that oath. They made an oath. And from now, you go from that point of time to the present, and you find it totally violated. And look at all the things that has ever happened to this country. You don't go sticking your finger in the eyes of the Creator. You just don't. But anyway, but my whole point is there's a big difference between our yesterday, our yesteryears, and today. Oh, yeah, that's right there, bro. That's right. Oh, it should have never been an issue. But just look at the way it has become. It's sad. this is the sad state of our country. Now I'm not going to be able to show everything that I want unless I just show part of it. But I will. I forgot to put the link to it in the description, but later on I will try to remember to pull the link up and post it in the description, all right? And please tell everybody to watch this one and to click on that link too. All right, it's on the Communist Manifesto. A lot of people don't know all of what's in there. They know, some may know a little portion, but I have a little bit on it that I was going to show here, but it wasn't the audio book on it. But I will post a link to the audio book. In other words, if a person compares what they hear and have read with what they hear or read in that book, and then take a look at what's going on today, not 3 years ago, not 4 or 5 years ago, I mean today, you see that now more than ever, I mean, they're trying to ram it down our throats, more or less. And everyone knows socialism, communism eliminates freedom. But those who believe in it, they think that's freedom. They abuse freedom. They don't even know what it really means. But okay, enough of that. I got another one here. You have to hear. And what you're listening to, just compare it from what we remember of our yesteryears, our yesterdays, compared to now. It's sad.
Italy announces rollout of a dystopian social credit system to conserve resources.
And now and this might be Italy, but I'm not only talking about our country, but the world. You know that the one there, I'm not for sure. I'll have to look in on it. I did know, but I'd have to go back and check on that again there, bro. Um, I will, I'll check. Okay. But that was pretty bad, man. That was pretty bad. And you know how that China has that social credit system? Check out, Italy is now embracing this. And see, and that's what they want to do now in this country. All right. I mean, all right, you got China, and you got Italy, and you got some other countries that want to embrace it, trying to push it. But now Italy has embraced it. Check this out.
Well, Italy announces rollout of a dystopian social credit system to conserve resources. The first of its kind in the EU, compliant citizens will be rewarded for good behavior. Okay. Social credit scores are already in use in various places around the world, for example, like in communist hellhole China. The dystopian measurements act in a similar fashion to traditional credit scores. However, as the name indicates, one score has little to do with their financial prospects or ability to pay off debt on time. Social scores are all about your level of compliance to the regime and acceptance of the approved narrative. For example, if social credit scores were in full effect in the United States and you were to donate money to a company like, let's say, the National Rifle Association, the NRA, or buy stocks in oil, pretty much anything deemed far right or environmentally damaging by the establishment, your score would take, of course, a hit. And too many hits, you guessed it, there goes your purchasing power and ability. With this dystopian coercion tool being used in an authoritarian dictatorship like China, for example, where there is no such thing as individual rights or free speech, it would be easily assumed that this system would not be compatible with the United States or even the West more broadly. But sadly, that's not the case. Governments across the Western world are exploring using this tool, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, which proved that the government can obtain almost limitless power in a crisis and set the stage for the next phase of the World Economic Forum's Project 2030, where the plan is that you will own nothing and be happy. As of right now, though, there is no official government-sponsored social credit system in the West, but that will change in the coming months thanks to Italy, which announced the rollout of its new rewards-based program that aims to modify people's climate change behavior by assigning a score based on their compliance. The first program of its kind in the EU. The program will kick off its pilots starting in the fall of 2022 in the large metropolitan city of Bologna. Citizens who comply with a radical climate change agenda by displaying quote-unquote good behavior, such as correctly recycling or using public transportation, will be rewarded with cryptocurrency and discounts to local retailers, according to a local newspaper, Bologna Today. Enrollees will be given a smart citizen wallet where their rewards can be accessed. The higher one's score, correlating with good behavioral changes, will allow them to access more benefits. At first, enrollment into the social credit score system will be optional. However, they are justified concerns that the program will become mandatory in the future, not unlike the dystopian vaccine.
Yeah, and I mean, you just sitting there seeing and hearing this, it just makes you sick to your stomach. And the question we ask ourselves, what can we do? I mean, outside of a revolution like that we had time, uh, a long time ago in this country, all right, unless you have something like that again, I mean, really, seriously, what can we do? The thing is, I mean, this is just sad. I mean, these are events just make us remember back when freedom was very valued. I hear you, bro. that and the thing is, we got all kinds of stuff going on in this country, and that's why this country needs a leader that's going to do his job, not just a leader, but leaders that will do their jobs. um and the thing is, the only thing that will put a damper, let me get that out of there. uh the thing that would really put a damper to it all would be an outright war. In other words, no elections if there's a war in this country. We go to, like, say, we go to war, and the war lasts a good long time, which no doubt it would. Those people that are in there now, those idiots, oh yeah, they will remain in power. And let us hope that it don't. Let us hope and pray for the best and only prepare for the worst. Uh, Now, this next one, I am going to, I'm not going to put it all up. I mean, play it all the way through because of time. But here, you have to hear this. Hold on, where is that thing? There you go.
Media just published an article saying that they're at Mariupol, where there was a great siege that the Russians ultimately won. The one area they haven't taken over is this tremendous steel plant. There are a lot of Ukrainian soldiers who are holed up there, and now it has come to light that apparently there are 50 French senior officers who are trapped in that steel plant along with the Ukrainians. The French soldiers have been on the ground fighting, directing the battle, and this was kept under wraps, ultra secret, because of the French elections that just occurred. Had the French people known that there were a large number of French officers trapped and probably going to die in that steel plant, the elections would have gone the other way. Marine Le Pen would have won. And so it was very important that for the entire deep state that it not come to light that these French officers were there. We know that there are NATO officers who are present on the ground in Ukraine as advisors and so forth. We run the risk. Now, my guess is, and this is a guess, I could be wrong, but the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, the Moskva, was sunk as a result of being struck by anti-ship missiles. My guess is that those missiles, I think there's a good chance they were fired by the French. Now I could be wrong, but those missiles are so ultra sensitive and so dangerous to our ships that I don't think that NATO would trust the missiles to Ukrainians or to anybody else. I think they have to be maintained under NATO control.
Sorry, I forgot. I had that muted. This is what I was trying to get at, is about war. With the stuff that's going on over there and what's going on here now. I mean, because we don't know what tomorrow fully holds. We can only read the signs or whatever and observe what's going on, and then draw our conclusions from all these things that has taken place. But if you have a war right now with the idiots that you got in power right now in this country, time the war would be over. I mean, what would you have? What would you have left? I mean, that's why I wanted to. I'm not going to have time to pull up this thing on the Communist Manifesto, but I will next time when I'm up. Um, but I mean, it is scary as all heck. Now, what I was going to show, have you up here to listen to was the what was I was originally going to put up was the about the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto. But I will pull that up next time I come up on live. But it's a scary thing to know that with what we are seeing and hearing today and what they plan on trying to push on us for tomorrow and so forth is right out of the Communist Manifesto. And it's scary as all heck. So the thing is that we have to try to remember is freedom was what this country had valued so very much. And now it's being thrown out the window. I am thankful that there are those still today who remember and value that. But once we're gone and we have died off, what does that leave? That's a scary thought. And the thing is, that's why we need to instill into our young the value of freedom, to know what it fully means freedom, and not to abuse that freedom, to hold it and treasure it very dear. Because here now, you're not even allowed to really fully voice your thoughts and opinions unless it's nonsense on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Well, I don't know about now, maybe. I don't know. But I know on like Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and all that, it's crazy. I mean, you have fools who want to push their agendas on those who love freedom. And those fools think what they're doing is about freedom, but it's not. It's not. It has nothing to do with freedom. It's about bondage, and that's not cool. And I really hope that people will learn to treasure the freedoms that we have, the freedoms that was given, and the freedoms that what little freedoms we have now, to hold that dear and fight for to get back our full freedoms that we had originally. But you got so many out there that's so confused. You got young people, thanks to these idiots that are allowed to get in there and teach the children. They think that this country is supposed to be a communist or a socialist country. I sit back and I remember those days back when I was young, and back, from what my father and my grandfather and grandmothers and great grandfathers and all that. I remember the stories. And, what I have read about the days of yore, yesterdays, about the freedom and the cost to have those freedoms. And now people want to throw all that out the window, out the back door, and get rid of it. saying it's bad. You got a society now that says bad is good and good is bad. Talking about really a confused world, I tell you what, I don't know. But the only thing I know is that I can say for sure is that we need to keep our eyes open and pray. Pray and hope for the best. But you will often hear me, even more so these days, to say pray for and hope for the best, but prepare. Prepare for the worst. Because, see, we don't know fully what tomorrow will hold. We have no full guarantees of what our tomorrows will be, let alone the next moment. So we should fight for that which is right and good in this world. Don't sit there and rely on the thought that, well, I ain't worried about it. Let so and so overdo it. That kind of thing can allows the collapse of a freedom-loving society to fall real quick. A total collapse when people are thinking in that way. It takes unity. Unity, as they said, there is strength in unity. So value that which those people of long ago, our forefathers, and your aunts and your uncles and your daddies and your mothers and such had fought and died for, to value those freedoms. So remember those days. And please hit the like button and subscribe. And share your comments and your thoughts, because everyone's opinions counts, even if we disagree. Well, because that's what a part of the freedom is, to be able to voice your thoughts and opinions, to value that freedom of being able to have freedom of speech and thought. But now we can't even do it anymore, or so it seems. So, anyway, I am hoping that you will come in next time when you see me up. I don't keep a tight schedule or anything because I don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, because I get busy and a lot of things happen, appointments and this and that, and what have you. But anyway, that's why I hit the notification bell and, subscribe and like, help this channel to grow. And we will see you next time, all right? And so you be sure you take care and be blessed in everything that you do. And remember that I do care about you. If I didn't care, I don't think I would even have this channel at all. And because we have other things that come up on this channel, from it could be music, it could be rants and raves, or discussions maybe on the paranormal, like on cryptids and what have you, UFOs, aliens, or whatever, politics, things, to discuss and talk, and remember this: respect each one's view, even if you disagree. Respect that person's view, even if you disagree. Respect them, in the sense that they are a human being and they are voicing their opinion and thoughts, even if we disagree. That's the thing, is value and respect one another and care for one another. I mean, even with one's own family, right? With your brothers or your sisters, your mothers, your fathers, your aunts, and your uncles. You have disagreements, but you still love one another. You have different views. That's the thing, is we're human beings. So remember that, all right? I want to say thank you. It was good having you in here, Paul. And I will be getting out here. I got to tend to little Sassy over here. I'm about actually 10 minutes behind, and I got to get busy with tending to her. She's got to do her business, the little furry baby over there. All right, so I will say adios, and I will catch you later. I love you all. Be blessed always. And until then, I will see you in the funny papers. All right, later, y'all. Aho and wado.